great. I will be starting. So, hi everyone. My name is Alexander. I am the project coordinator of X2 and one of the key people that shaped the program. 3 years ago, when we applied for funding from the European Commission. And I welcome you to an info webinar about our final cohort, data and AI. This meeting will probably last 45 minutes or an hour, depends on how many questions we have. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat as we go along, so you don't have to remember them until the end. And when the time comes, I'll open up the chat and then we'll go one by one. In the meantime, also please add the company name to your Zoom account so I can know who am I addressing best. And yeah, let's kickstart this off. Hope you have an informative session. And yeah, do not be afraid to ask questions. All right, so X2 is an EU-funded legacy project of X-Europe, a project that also lasted for 2 years some time ago, which we aim to deliver 5 needs-based, custom, industry-focused growth programs to 50 most innovative deep tech startups with the aim of enabling them to scale market-ready applications across border. The story behind X2 lays around our hopes and dreams to upskill and upscale deep tech startups across Europe and associated countries, connect and nurture deep tech ecosystem from moderately to highly innovative ones, and to reinforce the European Innovation Council offer with our little program and help you scale towards EIC at the end. The consortium behind the program is the powerhouse of 3. Coordination is led by F6S and me. F6S is a platform for supporting startups, global platform with over 4 million founders, continually using it to connect and approach various accelerators, incubators, and other stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem. We have ICT Hub, a venture builder and a VC from the Western Balkans. And we have Zabala, one of the key innovation ecosystem builders in Europe, focusing on research and development projects. I need to keep adding people, sorry. So our aim over the 2-year period is to grow our ecosystem to 350 industry impact builders. So this is a term we coined that indicates experts from particular service domains that aim to help you grow. 75 corporations hoping to establish a connection with you towards different type of development and synergies. And finally, hope to engage investors. Informing you, currently we have around 250 mentors mapped out and around 30-something corporations. And we reach investors on need-on basis, so not something that we continually engage. Anyway, we've been running for over 1 year, and our ecosystem has significantly grown. So we're really proud of this, and that everyone's engaged to help us. I said 50 startups will be engaged. Well, here we have 5 cohorts that we had planned to support over the 2-year period, with 4 of them already in progress. We have closed manufacturing and circular economy, closed agri-tech, currently finalizing health tech and biotech, and smart cities and sustainability cohorts have been somewhere in month 2 of their program. Today, we're here to talk about data and AI with the deadline of the 4th of March of 2024. So a little more about the programs. So yeah, as you've seen, we have 5 industry cohorts. of 10 startups each. So very, very selective, and you'll understand why. Because we look to provide a very tailored custom cohort based on needs assessment performed by our venture capital and innovation experts. So what does this mean? Each startup has their own program, on their own path, built around the services coming from these innovation support matrix and the 6 categories that we have defined and understood from our previous experience of running accelerators and incubators. To support this, as you see, we leverage the experts from the industry to deliver these services, and we and the consortium monitor this implementation. So the current open call focuses on deep tech startups from the big data and AI domain. What does deep tech mean in our regard? So this is a startup that leverages the latest technologies or is coming from a highly scientific background. And here on the left side, we took the liberty to outline some of the big data and AI technologies that we prefer. And as you can see, these we focus on, but we are not limited to. So in case you do work with other deep tech domains within big data and AI, please reach out. I mean, apply and yeah, do not shy away, because we are a curious bunch, as you see probably on the website. And yeah, we hope to support the most innovative and promising startups. Important to note is that, maybe I will go back now. Yeah, occasionally, well, what you can notice is the previous cohorts have been more market focused, while this one is more tech focused. So this being said, we will accept startups from various industries and markets, as long as the technology is the most innovative and the use case is appropriate for that. We have 6 categories of services that we have identified that the startup needs in your stage, somewhere between early stage and scaling. So from left side, as you can see, we have financing and investment seeking. Then we have the technical aspects, which can be considered deep tech or scientific. We have business development and scaling up, promotion and communication, internationalization and soft landing, and commercialization and legal aspects. These are, again, categories. Well, some of the things I mentioned before, naturally, we couldn't map them all, as each company has their own needs, but these are the categories that we operate in and that our impact builders operate in. As you can see, each of the categories has their own mentorship, which we hope you acquire, and additional services. This is something that we slightly differentiate between. So we have growth and scaling services, we have mentorship, and we have event attendance. And these 3 are services that are covered by the grant or an innovation voucher of 30,000 euros. We offer the 30K, and you need to spend it on these things. So this is not a grant that stays in your pocket for you to use on your personnel or hardware or any other things. It needs to be spent on the services that you need. So you can consider it as subcontracting, but it is yeah, a matter of using them for these things. In the yellow parts are the services that are covered by the consortium. So this is covered by external experts or event attendance. In the event attendance, we ask you to attend 2 events. We give, so the 30,000 is split by 5,000 for events, and then I think 5,000 for mentorship and 20,000 euros for scaling. The 5,000 euros for event, that means 2 events, and it is at your disposal. You're at your disposal to select which events. However, One needs to be focused at investors, and we need proof that you have talked with investors and how many. So an event would be, for example, Web Summit, TNW, Wolf Summit, something like this. So an international event, potentially and hopefully within your technology and industry, very tailored for you. And yeah. So the rest of the services, so startup corporate matchmaking, fundraising, both public and private, talent matchmaking and promotion visibility are offered by the consortium, and we have a timeline for this. The program lasts around 6 months. Oh, here the distribution of the money per vouchers. So as you can see, travel voucher covers the cost of transport, accommodation. If you can squeeze in a booth or other costs, you are invited to. In the growth services, we hope that you require a minimum of 2 services from the categories. However, do note that we had one startup that acquired 8 services, and we were very pleased to see this because they understood that they leveraged this money as their own, and they wanted to make the most out of it. So they managed to agree with 8 experts on 8 services, which was amazing. Yeah, so mentorship, the difference between a mentorship and a services is mentorship is quantified in hours. So we want somewhere between at least 15 up to 25 hours performed by mentors, while the services can be quantified per reports and other ways, but not as hours. So a few things worth looking into. So guidelines for applicants is on the website, and I'll show you that in a second. So let me exit this full screen. So guidelines for applicants, if you go into the website, one sec, and you go into the acceleration program, open data and AI, scroll down, you will find information that I presented to you today. And eligibility criteria that I'll mention in a second, but documentation is below there where you can look into the guidelines as well as the sovereignty agreement template. And the apply button is below. As I'm on the website, I'll take the liberty to show you one more thing, and that is if you go into the impact arena, there you can see all the experts in the Impact Builder catalog. Currently, they're structured according to the sector and the service and the country. Once you select data and AI, for example, and commercialization, you don't need to do country, just click search, and you will see the ones that operate within the domain. You can go next, you can enter each one and simply read on what they do, the services that they offer. For example, yeah, this one provided more information, and there should be a website here that you can check them out. Why is this important? Because we would prefer if you knew who you want to work with at the application form stage rather than later, but more about that in a second. So eligibility criteria, we look to support startups from the Horizon Europe countries and the Horizon Europe associated countries. We are seeking to support, well, startups and SMEs or mid-caps, but definitely not corporations. If there's any conflict of interest, yeah, they will not be accepted. Yeah, so I need to kind of strengthen the argument on the maturity stage of the startup. So maybe a thing I can say is earlier stage startups shouldn't be worried if they provide promise and indicate innovation on how will they compete with the larger scale, more established startups. So it is on your capacity and skill to demonstrate this to us, and no worries, you will be able to compete with someone who is a better, has a greater maturity than you guys. Here's the evaluation criteria. It's seen in the guidelines for applicants as mentioned on the website, so you can read into it and see how we focus. We have a special focus, which is Seal of Excellence holders, startups and scale-ups coming from widening countries, or female founders, entrepreneurs, and C-level women. This brings additional 10% weight. Not having this does not exclude you or does not make you ineligible. However, we do give an extra focus on the startups coming from this. All right, so how to apply? You have Success platform. Application is around 2 to 3 pages of designated text. Make sure to understand how many characters left you have to write. You can also take the application form from the guidelines of applicants and work at it offline as well, but make sure to squeeze in the answers within the designated character limit. Here on the right side, I said, bring your own the impact builder. So while we perform the needs assessment and recommend impact builders for you, we are very inclined to listen to who you want to work with. So if you do have an expert or you have located some subcontractors that you would prefer to work with, please mention them during your application form stage, because later the process starts and we need to vet this person. We need to get them on board, get them in our ecosystem, and we prefer to do it earlier than later. So, tips and tricks on how to create a successful application. I think it was clear from my words. Approach it with high motivation. It's a competitive program, and having it focus on AI and big data, it's already clear given the year we are in. Everyone is doing this. So make sure to find your angle. I think that's the number 4 here. Find your angle, show us how you're different. Do not forget to mention competitors. Do not simply rush through this and think that a poorly motivated application will pass. No, it won't. Like 10 people gets accepted, and you're wasting your time as well as ours if you don't do this in a motivated way. So please do this and you will have a chance. Be specific and concise. As you see, as I mentioned, there are character limits, and this might annoy you, but let's be honest, we do not offer a lot of money, even though it is a decent amount of money, and hence we need to structure the application in this kind of sense. It is around 2 to 3 pages, but it does follow a business plan format. Read the guidelines for applicants. Everything that's being said today, you will find there as well in a little more detail. And the more you're prepared for the application, the better you will be. And do not wait for the last minute. I mean, stranger things have happened. You can always reach out to us and ask us, hey, Alec, please open the application for me. I will do so, but do not ask me to do this 1 hour before the deadline, because there's a chance I won't see it. There we go. So if you have questions, shoot it at info@x2.0 or send it via F-Success page. We'll make sure to address it timely. Alternatively, you can reach out to me as well. And do not wait for the last minute. Once accepted, we'll ask you to provide the following things. So SME declaration form, a PIC number. Well, a PIC number is also at the application form. So this is something you can relatively quickly request if you don't already have. So via the European Commission webpage, just go to Google and be like, pick number, and super straightforward. Legal existence in a country of establishment will be required, a bank account information, and sub-grant agreement template. All the things that we need to kickstart you off. Oh my God, okay, sorry about that. So about the program, right? So 4 to 5, well, here it says 4 to 5 months, but I would rather say 5 to 6 months, including the needs assessment. The idea is in the phase 1, you establish a work plan. That means goals and KPIs with your impact builders. What happens here is once you sign the sub-grantee agreement, we ship you your 9,000 euros to kickstart you off. You establish the work plan and you start working. What we look into is travel, mentorship, and reports from all the services to understand whether you have been following the work plan and whether you have delivered, or whether the services have been delivered, whether there have been any changes or anything. And once we understand that the report has been written appropriately and we have enough information to pass you through, we do so, and then you receive the next 40%. In case we are not satisfied with the report that was written, we will send it back and be like, all right, please look this back with your impact builder and make sure to give us enough information, because until now we were not seeing that you have been delivering the program as planned. We repeat this at the end of the 5th month. What's important here is we do ask you to keep your invoices. We're not necessarily too interested in those, but you are requested to keep them for 5 years, as European Commission might audit you. We are very interested in your impact and the service delivery. So when you travel, we don't need to see the burger that you ate on the 2nd day of your website event, but we are very interested to understand the 10 investors you spoke to, the 7 clients you spoke to, the pitching that you have done, and so. In case you have a happy selfie, you can attach that as well, and we'll be super glad to see this. So, trying to keep it administratively simple and impact-driven. And the startups who do not respect these reports will be sent back to revise them until they are a satisfactory level, and then only then we will pay them. Now, what's very cool about this program is that you as a startup define the contract with the mentor or the service, which means that you can define the payment schedule. This is our payment schedule to you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be your payment schedule to them. So feel free to do this. We will provide you with a template of the contract, and then you start on a one-to-one basis with them, while we X2 Consortium work as a sort of a mediator should anything happen, and in case there is a need for us to simply jump in and solve any issues. But until now, what I can tell you is the first 2 cohorts have shown amazing results. We had over 3 million euros raised. I think it was over 50 or 60 events attended. We had, off the top of my head, I don't know, but quite big numbers when it comes to clients and corporates achieved, or relationships established. So stay in touch with X2. You can go to the website, or, well, in this case, this is an X, LinkedIn, emails. So, I see 10 questions in the chat. I hope this was clear, and I'll go one by one through the questions. and see if I can answer them. So, first question from Vlad, can I apply if I don't have a registered company? The answer is no. We only accept established entities. Can I apply if I have a sole proprietorship, Serbia? Technically, yes. Because you do have a VAT number. Can you send an email regarding this? Technically, yes, but as we said, we're looking for, well, small and medium-sized enterprises, and sole proprietorship is questionable here, and I would need to look into it with my team. Can I include a QR code or links to my research in the presentation? So yes, there is a presentation deck, like a final or most recent pitch deck that we ask you to attach. Yes, you can add QR codes and links. However, if this is your way to try to, I'm trying to be honest here, if this is your way to try to reduce the text, or if you're not as motivated to write the application form and you're trying to get us to read off your website, this is not really going to work. But you can use this to add additional information that could not fit in the limited amount of space on the application form. In other words, if a person is not motivated to write an application form, but asks us to go to read somewhere else, we'll probably not do it. Does citizenship impact my application positively or negatively if now I'm not from the European Union? So Serbia in this case is an associated country, despite the fact that it's not a member of the EU. So in no way does it affect negatively. However, as Serbia and other countries in the Balkans, or even Turkey, Portugal, are coming from widening countries, you receive a special focus points of few percentages that can give you additional benefit. All right. Next question from Mikalis from Vertiliner. Regarding the events of the travel voucher, does each startup choose freely which events to attend? Yes, we do recommend some, but at the end of the day, you choose which ones you want to attend. Second question, can an applicant suggest a collaborating individual company as an impact builder? If yes, what's the process individual company to become an impact builder? So just mention them in the application form and we will do the rest. So we will send them a brief expression of interest or a form to complete. And then once this is done, a memorandum of understanding will be sent to them, which they sign. And we will onboard them. It takes a little bit of ping pong, but this is how it goes. Second question from Anna. Does the applicant should be a company SME already working on AI a few years, or a new entity settled less than 2 years ago? So, as mentioned, I think I've answered this already. Both are okay. As long as you show promise, innovation, dedication, and answer the questions appropriately according to the high standards of each criteria, you should be fine. Next question from Dr. Andre. What should be the business strategy of the startup? Do you regard as making the latest technologies accessible to industries in their use case, business approach, or do you acquire a startup to invent new technologies as objects of their innovation? Well, what you're asking, if I understand correctly, is in the first case, a distributor is a person who makes latest technologies accessible to industry. So in this case, this wouldn't be looked at so positively. We do want the startup to simply deliver their own innovation instead of reselling someone else's. Next question. I hope I answered this one.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm Michalis that had the previous questions. Just one small clarification, if I can, regarding the first one. So you recommend us some events, but we are free to not choose from these and choose something we have in mind, correct?
Yes, as long as one of them is in a place where you'll talk to an investor, and that's it. So you are free to choose as much as you're free to choose the impact builders. We recommend based on our insights and talking to you. But at the end of the day, you're the ones selecting these things.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Regarding maybe just shed a bit more light on the impact builders, we request at least 2 services and 1 mentorship. And I think there's a slightly one more criteria within there, and that is at least half of these need to be cross-border. Why is this? Because we're connecting ecosystems and we hope that you will learn from someone that is not from your ecosystem. Okay. From Pythagore, 30,000 are as a grant in advance or is reimbursement upon reporting of expense. So as mentioned, there is no reporting of expenses, but reporting on activities while you keep the expenses tracked on your end. So 30,000 euros is a voucher which you use to pay someone else, not necessarily a grant that you keep for yourself. Hope that's clear. So, Dr. Andre, the main scope of the program is to meet investors. Usually a startup needs to show proven record, traction with earnings grown with their innovation. Are proven earnings of the past expected? How long does the record have to be? So we do not ask for a record of revenue, balance sheet, profit and loss account, things like this. It's more of a business plan without any financial projections. You are free to put these in your pitch deck if you want to. The main scope of our program is to help you grow on various aspects, one of which is investors. So event aspect, it helps you connect with investors, while other aspects, as seen in the categories, help you grow in other aspects. Hope that's clear. Claudia, growth services have to be from your catalog or can be present new ones. So what requirements must they be? So on this thing, I'll go back. So as you see, the categories are quite, how can I say this, widespread. I would really like to know if there are any categories outside of these that a particular startup is interested in. But we focus on these 6. And then subcategories not mentioned here are also accepted as long as they fit within the category. Claudia, do you mind speaking up to see if is this what you wanted to hear?
Hi, hello. Yeah, just like the requirements or like I understand that it needs to be from a category over here, but do you have like other requirements or anything, or just like if it fits here, it's okay?
You're asking quite vaguely. I'm not sure what you mean by other requirements other than the several ones.
Like, can you define like what does it mean, like a service for you? So I understand. So maybe I'm not understanding the difference between the mentorship and the service. Like, what's the difference between them?
So, it is something that we continually run into. We understood that mentorship can be taking place in a form of hours spent with a person and talking and discussing and mentoring on a particular topic, while a service, for example, if you're researching a market, which in this case could fit, I don't know, either in an internationalization or commercialization or even business dev, you require a market research service from a particular impact builder, and they produce a report on 100 pages that looks into everything, for example, on how to enter a retail industry with data and AI in France. And it looks into everything regarding this, from the competitors to the legislation and so forth, and produces a report. Here, as you see, you met with them once or twice. They produced the report while the mentor has met with you for 20 hours. So in this kind of sense, we distinguish the two. Maybe to relax you a bit, I wouldn't stress myself over whether it's a mentor or a service until now. I would just go, well, first get accepted, but later go through the needs assessment process, so we can understand what are the aspects of that you need support with, and then the services and mentorships will be structured around this.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Dr. Andre again. How long should a report on actions be? So we have templates. They are relatively short. We have, let me see if I can bring it up. So a couple of things we ask on, like achieve, and this is all like up to 300 words. So achievements during the service delivery, problems if you have encountered any. If you have not, then it's a no. Have you deviated from initial plan? Made any comment on this? Can you summarize the progress and the achievement? We look for an evaluation from the mentor to see how, well, from the impact builder to see how it went, and that's it. So relatively straightforward and to the point. Reports are really not that big, but we do want clarity and informed reporting. Do we have to start the activity immediately after receiving your grant? In, let's call it a phase 0, you get accepted, then you go through needs assessment, which lasts for 3 weeks. And then we have a kickoff meeting, and this is where you meet with the impact builders, and then you start working on the work plan. And by the end of that month, we hope that you develop a work plan, which is, again, not as detailed as you would hope, well, as I would hope, but it is probably 1 page per service, describing us what are you planning to do and if there are any KPIs associated to this. You know, looking at the SMART methodology. So how does it go? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. In what we hope that you structure these work plans around, and then once we establish them, then you follow these work plans. And the work plans can state, I want 2 of my services, and again, this is up to you, 2 of my services to be delivered in phase 2, and 2 of my services to be delivered in phase 3. It is on you to structure this based on your availability and also availability by impact builders. Again, hence the very tailored, very custom approach, and which we adapt to you. Cool. Moving on. When would I need to have my business registered by? Well, at the application forms stage, because you need to provide the PIC number and the registration number, I think. Maria Antoinette, are investors talks compulsory? Well, yes and a no. We would understand if you're not in that phase. But yeah, prospecting and client meetings are very much of a program focus. From Orhan, what is the maximum budget that we can spend on the mentorship from the experts? 5,000 euros. So let's go back. Here's the description. So, at least 5,000 euros on mentorship and maximum of 20,000 euros on services. So again, it is on you to play around with the numbers to understand, oh, I like these guys more, you know, I would prefer the service to be take place more and then adapt to this, but travel needs to be 5K and a minimum of 2 events. With these two, we can go around. So we have a person from Luis, a question from Luis, well, more of a note. Be aware for European Commission, a self-employed person, as long as registered and paying taxes, has the same rights regarding being funded as an incorporated entity. Thanks, Luis, and definitely nice way to put it. All right, Irene from Data Monkey. Hi, Alex. Thanks for the presentation. Did I get it right that we get 30,000 euros, but we can only spend it on fairs, events, max 5K, and then mentoring, coaching from your pool of experts? We cannot spend on anything else. So marketing, salaries, and furniture costs. Yes, that is right. Consider this as subcontracting and not payment for your own stuff. So it's not a grant, it's a voucher. From Torben. My company just got an investment and we're not looking for another investment right now. This is not to say that we don't need another investment in 2 years. We perhaps spend all the grant money or vouchers on the consultation help from other services that might help us grow. Yeah, absolutely. So we don't require you to raise investment during this phase, even though it would be beneficial. You would talk to someone, even if that means that you will be raising 2 years from now. Can you share when approval of those top 10 startups will happen? From Victoria. And when work could start. So, all right, let me bring this. So in May, the growth program should start and it will last until October. We will perform the evaluation sometime in March. So in the beginning of April, you will know whether you have been accepted or not. From Dr. Andre, clarification on innovative business goal. We're building a platform integrating AI frameworks and tools a developer needs to build AI. Users use our infrastructure by no code, manage data, train, or run models. Is this innovative? To be honest, I'm having very much difficulty answering this question based on one paragraph. So yeah, sorry. Because you know, to compare yourself with others, to see the market, to yeah, simply understand your value proposition, I need much more. Sorry. And final question from Victoria: how many mentors can we get within the budget voucher? So going back to the vouchers, there we go. It is on you to try and understand how many fit. Well, if it's at least 5K, means we can go more. We would like you to get at least one and hopefully more. And it's fine if you go above 5K. So yeah, that's the idea. Could I share the gun sheets? Yeah, I'm sorry, that's not possible. Yeah, so does anyone have any other questions? All right, if no, all right, we do no. Great. Thanks everyone. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Hope to see you and your applications. Wish you all the best. How many applicants are expected? Well, given that it's data and AI, the answer is a lot. So there will be a lot of competitors, but still, I wouldn't refrain from applying if you, well, believe in that this program is for you and that you believe you can be successful. Go for it. I think this is the common denominator in any applying to any program, that is that you're simply vibrating with belief that this will be successful. If not, simply don't do it. That would be my personal recommendation. All right. I'll stop sharing. Everyone have a great day and the rest of the week.